Now, we've got the Royal Rumble, of course, on Sunday. What are some
What
of
an
your...
awesome concept and an awesome match.
Yes.
I think that, quite honestly, I think that's the greatest concept that Vince has done. I really do, because it never gets old.
No, exactly. We've got, guys in the office who are, lackadaisical, let's just say, in their sort of wrestling passion. But anytime this comes around, everyone starts talking about it. And
Why do they, Adam?
Because I think it's so unpredictable. And
Correct. And you can't determine who's going to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was some of your memories of when you were involved in Rumbles or just being in and around the company when this sort of season comes around?
I just, I loved it because it was so much fun because, you never knew when you were, one, you wanted to have the opportunity to just be in it. And two, you never knew when, where, what spot, what purpose you were going to serve when you went into it. It's as much fun for the wrestlers as it is, for the audience to, it's much fun to be a part of it. You want to be out there as long as you can.
Have you got any thoughts? I know you're sort of on and off with keeping up with the product and stuff like that because obviously you sort of live wrestling 24/7. It seems. Have you got any thoughts on this year's event? Obviously, they've got the first ever women's Royal Rumble, and like you say, it's just all so unpredictable.
Yeah, and I think that I think the women's Royal Rumble is fantastic. I think that's such a great. Again, I think that's a great idea too, and I think it's well past its time that it finally happened. Because I've always had a belief, that women are as much a draw, if not more, than the men if it's done the right way. I would, literally, when I was running and writing the television for OVW, the women a lot of times, saved the show. They literally were the thing that people wanted to come and watch. And we did the first ladder match, a women's ladder match between Katie Burchill and Beth Phoenix, and I mean, it was the main event, and it should have been the main event because it was the thing that drew the house, and people wanted to see it. And they did just such an amazing job back then, and I've always thought that about the women's wrestling, and the Royal Rumble. I don't know. Because they made so many interesting moves back in the fall that I thought that were going to play out and that were going to take them in a direction to WrestleMania, and then they changed course. So right now, I don't know. I really don't know. If I could have, I would have based everything on in my predictions and speculations. I would have based everything on what they did in the fall, but they've completely changed that, and really surprisingly. I was expecting that it would, once you set the course, they would stay there because they set a strong course in the fall with what they did with Roman Reigns and John Cena and Brock Lesnar, and they set a certain course. And I could see where they were bringing, certain people together, and then now it's not there. And I don't know if I don't know. It'll be interesting to see because now I can't predict. There's no way I can predict who's going to win it. I really don't know.
No, one of my things I was thinking to ask you was who your prediction was going to be, but I completely agree in terms of I think you barely need to look at the betting odds and you just go. Previous years, maybe people could have sort of gone, it's probably going to be one of these three guys. But this year, I think it is literally just...
It's up for grabs. I think Miz stands a real good chance this year, and rightfully so. I think he's really developed himself into a prominent personality. And I think he has a really, really good chance of being, or at least in the last part of it, or being a major factor in the match. I really do.
I think he's been an absolute sensation over the last few years. He's sort of been bubbling under the surface for quite a while and building up that respect. And then, I mean, you talk about reality and taking it down to basics. Like, I know it was on Talking Smack as opposed to being on SmackDown, but that promo that he cut, which reeked of realism about Daniel Bryan and being accused of being safe and being the guy to carry the company, was amazing.
Yeah, because it was real, and that's why it worked, because he felt it, he believed it, and that's why it got so much notoriety. And Miz, let me tell you something, because he's one of my kids. He's one, I brought him in Tough Enough 4, and worked with him in OVW. So I'm very proud of what he's done, because he has always been a talented guy, and been a very underrated. It could have happened several years ago for him. It's happening now, and a large part of that is, of course, now he's more mature, he's more developed, he has more experience, and he knows who he is, and the audience gets it too, because it's real. It's who he is, and I couldn't be happier for him or prouder of him. And I think it's high time that he finally get it.
Well, that is lovely to hear, and we'll have to try and get you on post Royal Rumble perhaps for your thoughts.
Yeah, because like you just said, the betting odds. Think about that. That the only professional wrestling event, because the only thing that's fake, the only thing that's ever been fake is just the outcome. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you want to use the word fake, which is a misnomer, but it's predetermined. Everything else is quite physically real. All the bumps, all the moves are real. The holds are real. It's the intent behind it that's what's fake, not the physicality. It's never been fake, never will be fake, but the intent is. And that's what, again, that's what we're selling. But that's why the newspapers stopped reporting on the outcomes, because they all knew, here in the United States, they'd known in 1938 that the outcome was predetermined. It was not an actual competitive situation, so they stopped reporting on it. People stopped betting on it because it was predetermined. But now people actually bet on the Royal Rumble. Think about that. They bet their money on a predetermined wrestling event. And the reason they do is because they just don't know who's going to do what, how long they're going to stay in. I mean, how much fun is it when you get together with your buddies and you do the pool of, hey, I'm going to take, you split up all 30 guys. You've got how many people at the party, and you go, okay, everybody gets 5 guys, or you get to pick your 2 guys or 3 guys, and then, or you get to say, okay, this guy, let's all bet on how long he stays in. You know what I mean? And everybody gets together and they watch the pay-per-view just so they can do that kind of thing. And that's awesome, because it sells what? It sells the outcome. The outcome is what matters, and that's what makes it fun, because you don't know who's going to win. The one year I think they did such a poor job with was the year that Roman Reigns, was in it, only because, one, you knew he was going to win, and that kind of killed it a little bit, and 2, none of the talent, none of the performers worked the match the way they should have worked it.
No, exactly.
It should have been a 1-on-29 handicap match. If it was real and you knew that all you had to do was get Roman Reigns out and you won the opportunity for the world title, what should every guy have done when he immediately got in the ring? Went for Roman Reigns. What did nobody do? They get the ring and they do 1,000 other things, but nobody went after Roman Reigns. It's like, guys, it's pretty simple. Just go get him, but they didn't do it. So that's too bad. But it's such a fun match. It really is. Even no matter how jaded or bitter some guys get, and I'm not at all, but there are those guys that are, they still like the Rumble, because it's just such a fun match to watch.
And I know you're still doing, certainly looking at your social media, the odd dates. If they ever called and asked you to be involved in another one?
Oh, I'd be thrilled. I'd be thrilled to come out and do anything. I'd be thrilled to come out and do like the Bushwhackers did. Come right in, get thrown right out. You know, everybody, at the time, everybody's like, "Oh my God, that was terrible." But how many people still remember
Oh,
to
it's
this day
infamous. Yeah.
that moment? And it was fantastic. That's what wrestling's about. It's not about winning and losing. It's about creating those emotional moments that people never forget for years. So yeah, you want me to come running out, shake a plastic head, and run in and get thrown right out? I don't care. I'll do it.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe below, and if you're looking for more content like this, then try a few things that are floating about around my ears. Might be fun. I can't promise it though, but it might be.